she finds some other guy when the night ends.
Everyone going underground has to wear a hard hat on their head. It has to stay on their head the entire time you're underground. Now to fit it securely on your head, there is a little notch at the back. You twist that notch to the left, lefty-loosey. It loosens it up. Put the hard hat on your head and then twist it the other way to the right, righty-tighty.
You got it all figured out in a way about you, like you can't get enough of wild nights, wild nights. You work so hard, night and day, all of it so you can be the queen on Friday. It's Saturday and Sunday, Monday too. And the everybody gonna turn their heads and look at you, yeah. What you gonna do about it?
别拍我了，他这样不会真有。
Let's forget about it. You got enough fancy friends and a way about you. Like your luck is never ever gonna dry up. No, tell you what, let's forget about it. You got it all figured out and a way about you. Like you can't get enough of wild nights and high fives. Tell you what, let's forget about it. You got enough.
That white copper head. So this here is the same shaft that showed you up on the surface. Do you think they have their lunches up on the surface or down underground? And about 40 miners working underground per shift, trying to get all 40 back up to us. Now that's the same gas that's used in oxy-rolling. What the miners did is they got a canister that they filled up with calcium carbide. There is a tiny, tiny hole at the top here. Can you guys see that hole? It is really, really tiny. You then plunge the canister into a bucket of water. The water seeps in through that hole. You get a chemical reaction between the carbide and the water. The gas then travels up and along this nozzle. They light that with a match and that produced a flame that was 15 times brighter than candlelight. Much better to work by that they wore here in the 1940s. What? So these are right here. Thick glue.
What you gonna do about it?
Aha, here we go. Sometimes they would hear a noise like this. Hear the difference between the two sounds? That is called a drummy sound. That is not a good sound. That means it's essentially hollow behind there. Has two vertical legs, 1, 2, a horizontal cap. They build a series of these. In this case, you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 down the end there, and then they lay logs on top. A quartz ring. Now this quartz ring here is tiny compared to the reasonable lower levels. Some of them meters tall. They also notice that there are some minerals in this quartz ring. We have gold, and we also have iron pyrite. Does anyone know what iron pyrite's nickname is? 1 holding the steel bar, 2 with sledgehammers. This was the technique that they used when they still had candles. So they didn't have much light, and they were doing this for hours on end. So the guys holding the sledgehammers were getting tired. So, in all honesty, she said, who wants to hold this steel bar while I'm getting really, really tired and can't see what I'm doing? Yeah, no, you really wouldn't want to. Because chances were I'd miss and go bang right onto the fingers of the guy holding the steel bar. Touching that was your fuse wire. Now, lighting the fuses was the very last thing that the miners did at the end of their shift. Inwards towards the center. So have this one exploded down, this one explodes in. Now I can show you the sequence that the explosions went off in. Now, when I push this button, I promise you nothing's actually going to explode. It is just a light and sound show. It can get a little loud, turn it down to hard, but I will count down so you're not too scared of it. Alright, so 3, 2, 1. Now, you all know what a banjo is, right? Yeah. Now, when I was told this, I thought, oh, okay, so they get there and they're larrikins, they go, pretend this is a banjo. That is not the reason why it's called a banjo. If you were to scrape the shovel along quartz, the white rock, like this, it does actually sound like the strumming of a banjo. Poorly tuned banjo, but still a banjo. Three, 2, 1.
电梯，电梯来了。
All right. Now hop on a board. Everyone who I take a touch to, keep these heavy. Let's go. Let's go.
Got enough fancy friends and a way about you. Like your luck, it's never ever gonna dry up. No, tell you what, let's forget about it. You got it all figured out and a way about you. Like you can't get enough of wild nights. You work so hard, night and day, all of it so you can be the queen on Friday. It's Saturday, Sunday, Monday too. And the way you move is like you own the room.
现在回到酒店休息一会儿，等一会儿打算去吃一个小红书上很有名的一家汉堡店。我的鞋子都已经黑了。今天应该是我们行程的最后一天，明天我们再在 Bendigo 的小镇上逛一逛，晚上就准备回墨尔本了。就4天3晚的旅行就要结束了，感觉时间过得还蛮快的，就出来玩就是一晃就过去了。我现在在等我的朋友们，他们去买泳衣了，因为今天这个酒店是有游泳池和温泉室，所以可能晚上想说吃完饭之后去游会儿泳，然后回来休息。真的超级喜欢我做的这个裸色的美甲。假期也马上要结束了，我们7月26号就开学了。本来我们是有计划现在去看一个表演，结果就是大家看错了，那个表演在另外一个淘金小镇才有， Bendigo 的这个是没有的，